Hold on a sec. Something's brewing beneath the surface. It's not even level anymore. I think it's time we unearth this mystery.
Hey, it's Andrew here from Growin. Welcome to the Digging Deeper series, where we explore what lays deep beneath our feet. Today we'll be talking about how to test your soil pH fast. So let's go. So what is the P and the H in pH? Well, soil pH is the measure of acidity and alkalinity of your soil. pH stands for the potential of hydrogen, which refers to the hydrogen ions in your soil. Now the pH scale ranges from 0 to 14, with 7 being directly in the middle and neutral. A pH below 7 is generally acidic, while a pH above 7 is generally alkaline. Now there are several effective ways to test your soil pH, including using a digital pH meter or a commercial soil test kit. Both of these will give you a close indication of where your soil pH sits on the scale of 1 to 14. It's always better to keep it simple in the beginning. Now if you're a green thumb like me, you can confirm your friendship by turning on those notifications to stay in the loop. So we'll be making our own fast soil pH solution by only using 2 ingredients, and they are vinegar and baking soda. To get prepared, the materials we'll need are a small collection container for the soil samples, vinegar, baking soda, distilled water, a few soil samples from one area, measuring spoons, 2 glass containers or jars. So what you'll now need is to grab your soil samples from the area that you're planning on growing in. So what you'll need is 2 to 3 samples from one area. Different locations mixed together will give you a good representation of your overall soil pH. Okay, now that we have our soil samples, you're going to need to pop them in here. You want to remove any roots, branches, sticks, or rocks out of your soil. Break up any clumps and make sure that your soil is relatively fine for the next step. We now need to prepare the soil extracts by placing a small amount into each glass container, equally dividing the soil into 2. Once you've got equal parts of soil in each glass container, what you can do next is add the distilled water into each glass container. So you just pour it in so you have a nice watery consistency in both. Try and match the amounts that you have. There we go, perfect. Our first test will be with vinegar or acid solution. Now we need to grab one of our measuring spoons, which will be the 15 ml measuring spoon. Okay, so now we're going to take that off. And I'm going to pour it over this, 15 ml, just like that. And now we're just going to add your vinegar to your glass and see if there's a reaction. The vinegar will react with the soil and give you an idea of the soil's pH level. Observe any fizzing or bubbling that occurs. More fizzing indicates alkaline soil, while less fizzing suggests acidic soil. So now we'll be moving on to the next test, which is the baking soda or alkaline solution. Now you want to take the other glass container with your soil sample and take the 15 ml or tablespoon of the baking soda, and we're going to pop it in there and watch the reaction and see what happens next. There we go. 15 ml or 1 tablespoon. More fizzing indicates that there is more acidity, while less fizzing indicates that we have a alkaline soil. Sometimes you might not be able to see the actual fizzing or bubbling happening on the surface, but you might be able to hear it. Finally, we need to compare the results. By comparing the intensity of the fizzing between the 2 samples, generally, if the fizzing is strong with vinegar, the soil is alkaline. If it was stronger with baking soda, we know that our soil is acidic. Simple, right? While this is the fastest way to work out if your soil is acidic, alkaline, or neutral, it is by no means the exact value of the pH of your soil. It is a fast solution to knowing if your soil is balanced or not. Also important to mention that correcting your soil's structure by building in healthy organic elements can help balance your soil's pH in the long term. We'll have a how to start building healthy soil in the link up here. Maintaining the right soil pH for your plants is essential for their healthy growth and high yields. So take the time to test your soil and adjust your pH if needed to get the ideal balance in check. Bye for now, happy growing.